So as you saw that pressure volume work in case of gases, now we are going to do in terms of work done in isothermal reversible expansion of gas, right. As I told you that we have W is equal to P delta V, but when there is an expansion, that means work is done by the system, we say W is equal to minus P delta V. This is what I am going to use here. See. So we have W is equal to minus P delta V, but only in case of expansion. Only when we assume that the external pressure is less than the internal. So I will write here, that means external pressure is less than the internal, or I can write P external is equal to P internal minus change in the pressure. Because when I will subtract this value, I told you in reversible and irreversible process also, that when we subtract this change in pressure, that means this P external value is going to decrease by P internal, and by how much amount? By this dP amount, right. So this is what we have. Now what I am going to do, I am going to put this value here. So what I will get? I get W is equal to minus P internal minus dP into dV. Now when we just open this bracket, what we get? We get minus P internal into dV, multiplying this with this, and you can say plus dP into dV. This product, that is the small change in pressure and small change in volume, is almost nil. So we neglect this value, right. So our W is, we are left with minus P internal dV. So let's integrate it now. So we have W is equal to minus P internal into dV, that is from V1 to V2. If we assume that it is an ideal gas, we know that PV is equal to nRT for ideal gas. Or I can write P is equal to nRT upon V. Now I am going to put this value of P, that assuming the gas as an ideal gas, and then so I can write that internal pressure of P is equal to something this. So after writing this value, what we get? We get nRTV into dV ranging V1 to V2. So as we know that nRT is constant, right. So I am just going to move this nRT out from the bracket, and we have 1V over dV ranging from V1 to V2. Then what we get after that? Just you did this kind of expressions in physics as well, right. So that means what do you get when you integrate this expression? We get W is equal to minus nRT ln V2 upon V1, and when I substitute this value of ln, so this becomes minus 2.303 nRT log V2 upon V1, or if I want to write in terms of pressure, then what I am going to write? Minus 2.303 nRT log P2 upon P1. So this is how you are going to derive the expression for the isothermal reversible expansion. So these are the formulas, because we are going to use these formulas in the numericals, right. So you should know that what I did, I just wrote that in case of expansion we already knew that W is equal to minus P delta V. Putting the value of the P external here, after solving, integrating, what result we get? That is minus 2.303 nRT log V2 upon V1, or minus 2.303 log nRT log P2 upon P1. So this is what is the you can say the work done, pressure volume work done in gases, and the work done in isothermal reversible expansion. Now we are in a position to start with the first law of thermodynamics, that is we have the first law of thermodynamics, right. So first law of thermodynamics actually states us that energy can neither be created, we cannot create energy, as you all know. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but can be converted from one form to another. That means we can say total energy of the universe remains constant. So this is what we have, that we cannot create energy, we cannot destroy energy, or you can say we can just convert one form of energy into another, but the energy of the system, the total energy of the system is going to be constant. So this is what our first law states. So let us prove the mathematical expression for the first law. Suppose I have a system here which is under observation. I have water. So let us say its internal energy is U1. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change in its internal energy, and you know that we can change the internal energy by heat and by work, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to supply it heat from outside. I'm going to supply it heat from outside, and moreover work is done on the system. Work is done on the system, because when I put arrow pointing towards system, that means I am doing everything into the system. That means when I am talking about Q, so supplying Q into the system. When I just put arrow W towards the system, that means work is done on the system. So what happened as a result, the internal energy gets changed. So let us see that by what value the internal energy gets changed now. So we have, let us say that internal energy becomes U2. So this is the U1, but after you supply Q and after you do work W, it becomes U2. So what you can say that U2 is equal to which quantity? It is equal to the initial internal energy plus heat absorbed by the system plus work done on the system. Because we know that when heat is supplied to the system, we take positive sign, and when work is done on the system, again we take positive sign. This is what I wrote here. Now just shuffling them, what do I get? U2 minus U1 is equal to Q plus W, or I can write that U2 minus U1 is change in U. So we can have change in the internal energy is equal to Q plus W, and it is the mathematical expression for the first law of thermodynamics. So if somebody is going to ask you to state and derive it mathematically, you have to do in this way, right? So we can just change this formula, in other words, by putting the value of W. We know W, if it is expansion, it becomes P delta V, and if it is compression, we can write as P delta V. But in general, what formula is used? It is delta U is equal to Q plus W, right? Keep in mind few points. See, when is delta U is equal to Q? I'm just going to sum up few points, important points here. See, delta U is equal to 0. When it is equal to 0? It is equal to 0 for an isothermal process. It is equal to 0 when the reaction take place or a process take place at constant temperature, then delta U is assumed as 0. It is actually 0. And delta U is equal to Q. In which case? It is equal to Q in this case when the reaction take place at constant volume. That means no work is done, neither the expansion nor is the compression. Then delta U is equal to QV. And likewise, delta U is equal to W. In what case it equal to W? When the wall is adiabatic, when there is no exchange of heat. That means U is equal to W. So these are the three things you have to keep in mind, because we will be using these the conventions when we will be doing the numericals, right? So this is what we have is the first law, the important points for delta U, and the isothermal reversible expansion in case of the gases.